Picture a Stone Age cave, 50,000 years ago, lit by a flickering fire that cast long shadows on the rocky walls. A bald caveman crouches by a puddle, staring at his reflection and grunting in despair, poking at his shiny scalp like it might somehow change if he pokes hard enough. His friend shuffles over holding a handful of mud mixed with crushed berries and what might be mammoth fat, the mixture dripping slowly between his fingers. "Rub on head, hair grow back," the friend grunts confidently, nodding as if this is settled science. The bald caveman rubs it on, closes his eyes, and waits for a miracle. Nothing happens, except now he smells like a swamp and has berries stuck to his scalp, and a curious bird lands on his head, thinking it found a snack. Across the valley, another tribe had its own bald leader, and being bald was actually seen as a sign of wisdom and power among his people. The tribe's chief proudly displayed his shiny head, decorating it with painted dots and lines using crushed charcoal and ochre, turning his scalp into a walking piece of art. Other cavemen looked at him with admiration and thought, "Shiny head equals smart head," which quickly became the talk of every campfire gathering. So some of them started shaving their own hair off with sharpened flint just to look important, despite the obvious risk of cutting themselves badly. Baldness, for once, became the trend everyone wanted, and full-haired cavemen suddenly felt left out. Some even tried plucking their hair out strand by strand, wincing the entire time. Some Stone Age people tried truly bizarre remedies for hair loss, convinced that nature held the answer somewhere out there. One popular method involved rubbing the scalp with crushed insects, animal hooves, and a paste made from tree sap, all mashed together into a thick, sticky goo. The logic seemed to be, if it's hairy or strong, maybe it transfers, as if hair could simply jump from one creature to another. Spoiler, it did not transfer no matter how many bugs were sacrificed for the cause. All it did was attract more insects, which made the whole cave smell like a very confused anthill. Even the cave bats started keeping their distance. Meanwhile, the women of the tribe took a calmer, more practical approach to hair loss, preferring rituals over random goo. They believed it had something to do with the moon cycles and the changing seasons, so they performed gentle scalp rubs with warm water and crushed flowers, timing everything carefully with the night sky. They would chant softly, sway gently, and occasionally glance upward as if waiting for the moon to respond. While this probably didn't regrow anyone's hair, it was at least relaxing. Basically the world's first spa day. The bonus goal, of course, was maybe pleasing the moon spirits enough to grant a few extra strands. There was also the tribe's oldest shaman, famous for his wisdom, but also famous for his deeply receding hairline, which had become something of a running joke. Ironically, the man who healed everyone else's ailments couldn't fix his own head, no matter how many spells he muttered under his breath. He tried smearing a mixture of crushed bird eggs, ash, and animal bile directly onto his scalp, working it in with surprising dedication. Picture this respected elder, covered head to toe in egg and ash, sitting cross-legged by the fire, eyes closed, quietly hoping for a miracle. Younger tribe members watched from a distance, whispering and trying not to laugh. Even the fire seemed to crackle in amusement. Across the mountains, another group of cave dwellers viewed baldness very differently, with far less drama and a lot more calm acceptance. They simply accepted hair loss as part of growing older, treating it the same way they treated wrinkles or aching joints. In fact, they even associated baldness with experience and survival skills, believing that a shiny head meant you had outlived many dangers. The bald elders were respected hunters, not pitied outcasts, and were often asked for advice before big hunts. No magic mud, no insect paste, just a shrug and a that's life attitude that modern humans still haven't quite mastered. Younger hunters secretly hoped they'd go bald early too, just to seem more experienced. Back in the first cave, fur headpieces became the ultimate status symbol for bald cavemen and cavewomen alike, worn with enormous pride. Made from the pelts of wolves, bears, or rabbits, these elaborate fur hats were worn during hunts, gatherings, and tribal ceremonies, often decorated with claws, teeth, or feathers. The bigger and furrier the headpiece, the more important you appeared, and competition between families quietly grew. Some tribe members began collecting furs specifically for headwear, ignoring more practical uses entirely. Some of these hats were so heavy that wearers probably developed neck muscles stronger than their actual hair ever was. More than one caveman toppled over mid-dance under the weight of his own status symbol. One particularly stubborn caveman refused to accept his fate and decided to consult the tribe's wise rock, a large stone everyone treated as an oracle for important life questions. He sat in front of it for hours, asking it for guidance, staring intently as if waiting for it to blink first. Occasionally, he banged his head against it just in case impact stimulated growth, a theory he developed entirely on his own. The rock, naturally, said nothing, remaining as silent and unmoved as ever. He walked away with a headache, a bald head, and a newfound respect for rocks minding their own business. Other tribe members quietly agreed never to try that particular method. In a nearby river valley, another group discovered something odd. Rubbing certain tree oils into the scalp seemed to make the skin feel smoother, even if hair never grew back no matter how long they waited. These oils became a tribal tradition, passed down through generations with great ceremony, almost like a secret family recipe. Elders would apply it to children's scalps, just in case, hoping to prevent future baldness before it even started. It says something. Either the oils genuinely helped a little, or humans have simply been optimistic about scalp oil since the very beginning. Either way, the tradition stuck around far longer than any actual results ever did, proving that hope is a powerful motivator. The hunters of the tribe surprisingly took grooming seriously despite their rough, dangerous lifestyle out in the wild. Archaeological evidence shows early combs made from bone and sharpened tools likely used for trimming hair and beards before big hunts or ceremonies. While direct evidence of baldness remedies from this era is scarce, the existence of these grooming tools suggests appearance mattered even back then. It's fun to imagine a tough mammoth hunter pausing mid-hunt to worry about his hairline, quietly asking his hunting partner, "Does this fur hood make my forehead look bigger?" His partner, mid-spear throw, simply shrugged without breaking focus. Priorities, apparently, were already a complicated thing back then. Despite all these creative and often disgusting attempts, none of these Stone Age remedies actually worked, not even slightly. No mud, bird eggs, insect paste, or oracle rocks ever reversed natural hair loss, no matter how confidently they were applied. But the sheer creativity shows something timeless about human nature. People have always wanted control over their appearance. They have always been willing to try absolutely anything, however strange or smelly, to get it. From mud to moonlight rituals, the effort never stopped. Only the methods got slightly less mammoth-based over time. So the next time someone complains about modern hair loss treatments being expensive or strange, remember, at least nobody today is rubbing mammoth fat and crushed insects onto their scalp, or headbutting rocks for answers. Ancient humans dealt with baldness through humor, hope, status symbols, and a whole lot of trial and error, mostly error. They turned shiny heads into trends, oils into traditions, and disappointment into decoration. And honestly, some things it seems never go out of style. They just get rebranded with better packaging.